So the Detroit Lions face the Green Bay Packers at home tomorrow. I'm sorry, on the road tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big game. I said before that these are must-win games. 2 back-to-back must-win games. The Detroit Lions had a chance to beat a conference opponent at home. Okay, go up 2-1. The odds of making the playoffs at 2-1 are 54%. The odds of making the playoffs at 1-2 drop all the way down to 25%. And tomorrow, we have a chance to, for the first quarter of the season, take control of the North. The Minnesota Vikings, they got a chance to win against the Carolina Panthers, but the Carolina Panthers, man, Adam Thielen was balling. You got the revenge game, right? And then the Chicago Bears, I don't know who they play, but doesn't matter. They stink. They're absolutely terrible. I can't believe I had them anywhere on like a sneaky good team because they are not. And Justin Fields is not that good. But I've already said he reminds me of Lamar Jackson, just maybe a better thrower than Lamar. But yeah, I can't believe. Anyway, so tomorrow's a big game. Tomorrow's a big game. Now, Dan Campbell is 3-1 against the Green Bay Packers. 3-1. The first game we played them Monday night of 2021, we lost that game. Dan Campbell has not lost since. Swept them last year and beat them at the end of the season in 2021. Tomorrow's a big game. It's a big game. Okay, I thought somebody was at my door. So let's bring in the ESPN stats like we usually do. All right, so the Green Bay Packers, according to the ESPN game analytics, have a 45% chance to win this game to the Detroit Lions 53. So the Lions, outside of the Kansas City Chiefs game, the last 3, they've been favored to win on this graph, and they're also favored to win when it comes to the line as well. Jared Goff, 72 for 103 for 819 yards. He's got 5 TDs and 2 interceptions. He said during a post-game interview that this was probably one of the worst interceptions he's ever thrown in his career. He just missed on a pass, and that's something you don't want to see very often. Jordan Love, 51 for 96 for 655 yards with 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's because people can't seem to catch when it comes to Jordan Love and his interceptions. Through the dumbest pass I think I've seen, the dude was slipping. He was doing like the splits or something and decided to throw. That pass should have been picked off. So hopefully we get to see that tomorrow. David Montgomery, who is questionable, I think he's going to play. He said if it was up to him, he wouldn't have missed last week, but I think he's going to play. 37 carries for 141 yards with 2 touchdowns. Aaron Dillon, the human thigh master, man, 39 carries for 107 yards. Our leading receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 21 receptions, 275 yards with 1 touchdown. And Jay Reed, 9 receptions, 148 yards and 2 touchdowns. You want to go to a ticket to this game? Go ahead and knock yourself out. When we go and look at our injury report, I already have it pulled up here in a different tab. Let's look at that. Nope, it was here. So this is our injury report. CJ Gardner-Johnson, obviously IR, but these are the guys we're worried about here. David Montgomery will probably play. Vaitai, not so much. Taylor Decker will probably play as well. Emmanuel Mosley, this is the one here I'm not sure of. I'm not sure they're going to send him out there. It sounded like Dan Campbell was not going to do that, which in my opinion is weird because you didn't put him on IR to miss 4 games. But if he doesn't play tomorrow, he will miss 4 games. So maybe they thought he would be further along, but he's not. So I don't know. Hopefully we see him. But even if we do, will it matter? Because he won't be 100%, like have his feet under him. Okay, my mouse got stuck here. All right, let's go back. Kirby Joseph, this one too. Dan Campbell sounded like he wasn't going to play. Like he wasn't that sold on his ability. And he didn't play last week against the Atlanta Falcons, so it would be good to see him. Jonah Jackson, questionable. Dan Skipper, questionable. What in the world happened to Jason Kabenda? Not sure. Matt Nelson is actually going to be put on IR if he hasn't been put on IR up until this point. So he will not play tomorrow. Now, if we look at the status of the Green Bay Packers. Got some big names over here. Aaron Jones didn't play. None of these guys, I don't think, played this past Sunday. They all could come back, but then again, they all could be out as well. These are big, man. These are big. So if we go to passing yards, the Detroit Lions have 384 yards per game to the Green Bay Packers 307 total yards. Passing yards, 273 for the Lions to 218 for the Green Bay Packers. Rushing yards, 111 for the Detroit Lions to 90 for the Green Bay Packers. Yards allowed, they allow more than us with 355 to our 323. Holding Atlanta to under 200 yards last week was huge toward that. Passing yards, we allow more than them at 251 and they're 219. And rush yards allowed, what a jump this was for the Detroit Lions. Last week, this was 89. We allowed less than 73 yards a game. That's fantastic, man. That reminds me of back in the day. I don't know if it was Jim Schwartz or what, when we had a stellar run defense, man. They allowed 50 plus yards more than us. And our last 5, we are 3-2 coming off a 1-win streak. And they are also 3-2 coming off a 1-win streak. So this is going to be a huge game for the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. What do we need to do to win this game? I'm not that worried about Jordan Love as I was Desmond Ridder as far as him scrambling outside of the pocket. We did a really good job containing him last week. The run, period. Aaron Jones being out, if he comes back, if he's out, great. If he comes back, how he had a hamstring issue. Do they want to bring him back? Right? They have 10 days rest after this. Do they want to bring him back? If he does come back, will he be 100%? Right? Christian Watson, their receiving core. We can't let their tight ends beat us, because what I've noticed the past couple of games, especially in that Minnesota game, man, the tight ends were eating. So we need to stop that from happening. You know who I am worried about, though? I'm worried about Jerry Jacobs. Jerry Jacobs on their number 1 receiver. Is Jair Alexander going to be back? So this is I'm not really worried about the game, though. I feel like the Detroit Lions have the Packers number. And if there's any time, this is how I feel. I feel like we beat them with the best quarterback they've seen in the last 20 years, right? Since Aaron Rodgers, since Brett Favre retired. I think we can beat this team. I'm supremely confident that we can beat them. The way that we've been able to handle the Green Bay Packers, right? So we cannot, I'm worried about Jerry Jacobs. I'm worried about, is our defense going to regress and go back to week 2? So it's a lot of things we can do, but this video has gone on long enough. So what do I think happened? The Detroit Lions win this game and they take control of the NFC North. And when I say take control, I mean take control. The next team it's going to come down to the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. And this game is going to be big because I only think one team from the North, maybe 2, depending on how Washington does in the NFC East, gets to the playoffs. And I think that that's going to be our team. So tomorrow's a big game. Got to get the W, get 10 days off. We come home to the Carolina Panthers. And this team is real. I mean, just Adam Thielen had a dog of a game. DJ Chark got himself a game as well. But we have a chance, man, for legitimate 4-1 heading into week 6. But we got to get this W. I think we do. Lions win this game, go to 3-1. The Packers drop to 2-2. And dominance is starting to shift in the NFC North. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.